Yes, we're live. Let's check
Good morning.
the link. All right. Where are we? Click now. Okay.
Yes,
Yep.
there we are.
Yep. There we are. Okay. I'm gonna switch off my sound. Well, welcome to another episode of our live stream
Yes.
multitasting. Well, you might have noticed that we have some different camera angles and a different setup than normal.
And then refurbished, renewed listening room.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you.
Jaap has been doing a lot of work this week.
I've been busy. Yeah, this is our new backdrop. It's one cloth with no curtains. They're gone.
What's behind it, Jaap? Did you change anything on in isolation or diffusers? Or
No, actually not. It's the same as before because I measured it when I started here. It's 3 years ago. I measured the whole room, and it wasn't flat, of course. It was pretty bad, to be honest. So then I tried some dampening, and at first it was too much. So it was very, very dead. So I took away some dampening material, and then I measured again. And it was a lot better, but the sound stage was very narrow. So then I installed some diffusers. And some people know the white.
Maybe you can switch the.
Yeah, you can't see it anyway. So it's a cloth.
No, but maybe but the dots, the diffusers.
Oh, the dot diffusers. Yeah, you can see them in the corner. Let me show you. So these are not bass traps or anything. These are.
It stops with the next to the vocals.
So the vocal speaker is
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
And you see some tubes here.
yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
These are. Those are dot diffusers, and they absorb some bass because they're very big, and at the back side is a dampening construction, and at the front it's diffusion. But there are also some diffusers in the middle behind the cloth, and we had those for
Yeah.
a long time.
You
And
could see them.
yeah, they
were
made a
inside the last
big
week,
difference in acoustics.
Ah.
So
And you removed the yellow curtains.
yeah, I thought they were pretty ugly. And there was a lot of dust in there, and yeah, it was a mess. And it was temporary, but 3 years is not temporary anymore,
No.
I think. No. So, let me know whether you like it or not. Do you like the new setup with the new camera angles? I have a nice Stream Deck control center. You can't see it, you only see my laptop.
And we have two cameras because we we use the same cameras as we do when we are on the road.
Yeah.
Two Panasonic
GH5.
H5s.
Yeah.
And we can now use them in a two camera setup.
Yeah.
So last week we had to use the IP camera, which
These,
was okay,
you can still see them.
but you know it's a lot of
It's
it
this.
makes difference. Yeah.
This angle. The quality is not as good as this, I guess.
No.
It's better. So we have 3 beautiful loudspeakers.
Yes.
Let me show you.
3 monitor speakers.
We have the Kudos 505. Yeah, you show. That's this one. Then we have the Paradigm Persona B. That's that one. And we have our own Focal Sopra No1. It's the orange one. They are all around 8 to 10,000 euros.
A pair.
A pair, yeah. The focal is 8000 with stand mount. The Persona is around 10,000 with stand mount, I guess. Yeah, and the Kudos is also 10,000 with stand mount. And the Kudos is available in different finishes, just like the Persona, but it differs which finish you have. So it's around 10 to 11.
Yes, I think the Paradigm is also available in different finishes.
Yeah, definitely. You have them in
Price-
white,
the price
blue.
will change.
No,
No,
they're all the same.
same.
Yeah. So the Persona is available in a lot of colors, and I think they look. I think the Persona for me is the best finished speaker. It looks awesome, but it's a matter of taste. Some like the Kudos, some like the Paradigm, some like the Focal.
And they all have covers,
Yeah,
if you want. Okay.
yeah. The only thing with the Focal, it's really ugly. I never ever
Maybe you
used
can
them.
also show the covers later.
Yeah, later on. For the Focal, it's gonna be difficult because they're in the boxes somewhere
No, not the
in the office.
Yeah.
Well, good morning, Fernand. Good to see you. We're curious. What do you think of the loudspeakers? Which one looks best for you? It's I'm curious.
In terms of looks only, or
Yeah, in terms of looks, do you think the Paradigm looks best, the Focal or the Kudos?
so they're really comparable.
Price-wise,
If you have
yeah.
10 grand, you can buy either.
Yeah. They're pretty comparable in terms of price.
And also interesting, Kudos is British.
Yes.
Paradigm is US.
No, Canada.
Canada.
Yep.
It's Canada.
And Focal is French.
That's also interesting.
So
because,
yeah, it's a very international audience today.
Yeah, because I think there is definitely something about country or origin and
Yep.
sound signature.
I think
So,
so. Yeah. Maybe you know Micromega.
Yeah.
It's also a French brand. Advanced Acoustic is also French. I always thought Micromega was very light-footed, fast. I like the sound. And Focal is also very light-footed,
Yeah.
fast, open, airy.
Warmish.
Yeah. Advanced is warm.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Shall we start with the Focal? So I'm gonna take those away. And maybe you can tell them about the reference use of the Focal. Oh, damn, they're heavy.
Over here, behind it.
Oh, yeah, you can put them there.
Yeah. Well, you know,
really heavy.
our long-time viewers also already know the setup, which hasn't changed since last week and the week before. So this is our reference setup.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
For power amp, we use the Bryston 4B3, and then the Bryston is fed by the Isotech Titan, which is really a amelioration in terms of sound compared to when you hook it up to a normal, in the power outlet. Then we have the Paslabs. I always forget it. 20.
XP12.
XP12, not a 20. XP12 preamp. Jaap's next level Paslabs. He traded in the 10 for that one.
Yeah, huge difference.
Very nice analog, only analog preamp.
Yeah.
Digitally, we have the Metrum Pavan duck, and for the Rune bridge, we use the Metrum Ambre.
Yeah.
Cabling will be in all for the speaker cables. It's the AudioQuest Oak.
Yeah.
And then signal cables are interlinks are the GIM TP
TPM.
M. Studio grade.
TPM. Yeah.
Balanced, of course.
Yes. I'm gonna say we're live one more time. We are live.
And what we do is we will listen to. I think it's every time it's different. You know what we do last week with the power conditioners. We changed the power conditioners, and then we had some tracks, and we changed per track. We changed the conditioner. With speakers, bear with us that it's a little bit complicated to swap every time.
Yeah, they're really heavy.
So what we'll do, we have a playlist of songs, hopefully not banned by YouTube.
No.
And we will stick to one set of speakers and then switch to the other one, and then have a conclusive remarks afterward.
Some words about the vocal. It's a beryllium tweeter, so it's the Sopra No1. 8,000 euros a pair with stand mounts. They're around 40 kilos each. They're really heavy.
Without stand mounts?
No, with. But that's because of the glass.
There's glass, yeah.
The foot is made out of glass.
In the top as well, right?
Yeah. So there's a beryllium tweeter, inverted dome. And the woofer is a W-cone woofer, so it's the foam version also used in the Utopia. The tweeter is a newer generation than the Utopia, and I think this is the best tweeter they ever made. It's not harsh, it's really fast, it measures really well. I haven't compared them all, but in terms of linear behavior, the vocal is the straightest of them all. So
for us, it is very good to use this as a reference.
Because you hear everything.
There may be speakers which are more of our liking in terms of sound or warmth or livability, but this one it's really a good reference monitor. We know what goes in goes out.
Definitely, yeah.
And already for years we have it. I think for about how many years do you have?
You should speak up louder.
How many years do you have the already this?
3 years, I think. Yeah, I'll turn up our mics a little bit. And then we're gonna play some tracks. Jung is.
Yes. Also, the vocal. I'll try to speak more loud. Is available in different colors. I guess orange wouldn't be the preferential color for most people, but it's available in orange, and because it's almost King's Day, we thought it's appropriate maybe to have this orange color, and not only on King's Day but also on the other days. And the interesting thing is that we have another beryllium tweeter in the Persona, so it's interesting to compare these two monitors, because they have the same tweeter in terms of material and
a lot of beryllium. I'm gonna start the first track, so you can listen in. I think Annette will be nice to start off with. Liberty. I'm gonna switch the microphones. You listen in on the vocal. Then we have some other genres, and then we can swap the loudspeakers. All right.
Our bodies are hurting like hell. They promise to never leave us alone. Our hearts are breaking like bones. picking stars like apples from the sky, threatening to throw them in the sea, so we won't have anything to gaze upon. What happened to liberty and the bridges we almost got done? What happened to that was going to take us home? Dreams are breaking like glass, but faith is hard like stone. Sometimes so hard to see. When I lay down and forget this, you need to be telling me what happened to liberty and the bridges we almost got done.
Wrong one. Yeah, we're back. We can't play the whole track. First, it's too long, and second, YouTube will eventually ban us. So this was Annette. Let us know what you think. This is our reference system we use on daily basis. Let's do some... this is a fun one. Tennis court from Lord. That's a
very
cool,
short then.
Very short, yeah.
1 minute.
It's a really cool track. There we go.
Don't you think that it's boring how people talk? Making smart with their words again. Well, I'm bored. Because I'm doing this for the thrill of it, killing it, never not chasing a million things I want. And I am only as young as the minute is full of it, getting pumped up on the little bright things I bought. But I know they'll never own me. Baby, be the class clown, I'll be the beauty queen in tears. It's a new art form showing people how little we care. Yeah, we're so happy, even when we're smiling out of fear. Let's go down to the tennis court and talk it up like yeah. Pretty soon I'll be getting on my first plane.
Yeah. Well, that's the that was Lord. 1 minute. You get the idea. It's very punchy, open and fast. Next on the track will be you had a fun song.
What do you want?
Walking on Air.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Disco.
jazzy?
No, the other one from Zosha, that's jazz.
Oh, yeah. I thought the
The Ryle.
yeah. Walking on Air.
Is it on?
Yeah, it's on. A little bit of disco. You know the band.
Well, it's a Danish-German producer DJ.
Yeah.
Not so well known, but I listened to it to the Soul Show, and I thought it was I skipped that one in the 80s or so, but I found out that it was a record that was from 2018 or so. And,
yeah.
I bought the vinyl and I got the studio master, so it's
cool.
a nice one. But wow, this proves that room acoustics is really making a difference.
It does, yeah.
Because the sound is so different. You know, it's faster.
Yeah.
It has more soundstage than before.
Yeah.
And not to say that it wasn't good, but this is really an improvement.
The curtains did something with the imaging, especially. Yeah. Yes. I have one more track. It's bluesy. I know you don't like blues, but
except for some.
There is a really deep punch in the start of this song. It's from Tosho. It's the track "Give Me Your Number" from the album Back by Popular Demand, and they used AudioQuest cabling for this recording. So. Yep.
You don't need to be alone. Give me your number. You don't need to be alone. Give me your number, and I'll call you on the phone. We can talk about the things that we could do together. We could talk about your dreams, even talk about the weather. Give me your number. I don't need to be alone. Give me your number, and I'll call you on the phone. Now listen.
All right. That was Tosho. Give me your number. I'm gonna show you some measurements from the vocal to give some insights in how this speaker performs. You have listened now to the direct recording with the microphones in front of them. One of them asked, why didn't you place the microphones directly in front of the loudspeakers, so left and right direct? You don't get the imaging you normally get.
Yeah.
You lose a lot of room acoustics, and that's not a positive thing in this case.
Imagine that you yourself would be, let's say, 1/2 meter in front of the speaker.
Yeah.
With one ear. Okay, you get the sound output of the monitors, but it's not a near field monitor, so you get a sound that's not really telling you something about how it sounds from the listening position.
No.
And what we have done here is we have two high-grade condenser microphones in a ORTF setup. So that means that you have XY, and we have it like this. And this setup enables a pretty good dispersion of the capturing of the sound.
Yeah, you get the feeling. You get the feeling of wideness and largeness in this setup. You can also put them in XY. And I tried that. Also, in front of the speakers, I tried. This is the most
backward.
Realistic.
Yeah. And you could do it also more backward.
Yeah.
And then you lose some bass punch.
Definitely.
So it's a good suggestion, but for measuring, the measuring Jaap will show you now. That's the microphone is placed 14 centimeters in front of the
laptop. There it is. Yeah.
We have a calibrated measuring microphone.
Yeah, from MB. It's completely flat. Well, plus minus 0.1 dB maybe. That you place in front of the speaker on 1 meter.
1 meter, yeah.
Then you do it off axis on 1 meter, and then I also measure it on the listening position to get an idea of the roll-off. How much energy does a speaker lose when it has to bridge 2 meters? 180. So this is the impulse response from the vocal. This is the ingoing signal. Then it has to go back, and this is the most important one. How soon does the unit stop with resonating? This how precise is it? The shorter this whole signal is, the better.
It demonstrates the fastness of the speaker, doesn't it?
Yeah, and paper cones are usually not as fast as W cone or beryllium. Beryllium is really quick. This is the response on 1 meter with a time window of 6 milliseconds. I can set a time window in our software, so it measures only for 6 milliseconds, so you don't get any wall reflection. Because the speed of sound is around 334 meters a second, so you can calculate how far it has to be from a wall to cancel out the reflections from the wall. So as you can see, this is with a 3 millisecond time window, so you don't measure any low frequencies. But you can see how flat it is. It's really, really flat, and this is an off-axis measurement. This is on-axis. So it's almost like a ruler. It's a really, really neutral sounding speaker. But you already heard that. This is on the listening position with a time window of, let me check, 6 milliseconds. So that's 2 meters. That's a distance of around 2 meters. So I have to set the time window to 6 milliseconds. Otherwise I wouldn't measure anything. But you can see it's pretty flat, and you lose some high energy, but that's normal. You lose high frequencies the further you stand away. This is the distortion on 1 meter. It's practically non-existent. It's really, really low. It's below 0.1%.
What do the different colors say?
That's a good question. Those are the harmonics. So you see here the white line is second harmonic, red line is third harmonic, green is 4. So you can see which harmonics are dominant. And like with most speakers, second and third harmonics are dominant. But which harmonic of the two depends results in a sound signature.
You have the even and uneven harmonics. So the even harmonics are octaves. Octaves are more natural to our ear, and the uneven are fifth. So for the musicians between you, it's the C and the G. It's an uneven harmonic, and the C to a C, C1 to C2 is an even harmonic. But then with when you don't have anything in the uneven, it becomes dull.
Oh, is that so?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
because there is something about the
Yeah, but
richness.
I always think, especially during multitest, when we measure a lot of speakers, I can almost tell which one is uneven or even,
Yes.
evenly tuned. This is like it's kind of distributed. Sometimes the second harmonic is dominant, sometimes the third harmonic is
Yeah, and
dominant.
that's okay.
And this is the vocal area, and you see the third harmonic is dominant, so and we can hear that the vocal presence is pretty clear. So that was nice to see. The funny thing is, I have some other measurements like waterfall graphs, but I'm not gonna bore you with too many measurements. What struck me is the vocal is so remarkably stable in a room. It doesn't matter whether I measure here or there. I measured it here because of the changes in the acoustics. I have to know whether something changed. And it was not dramatically changed, but the vocal is so stable.
Yeah.
It always sounds the same.
Yeah.
And we get some more space now. That's it. And that's good. But the frequency response, the distortion is always the same, whether I measure it over there or here.
That's true.
Let's go to
So
the...
it's very, in terms of energy, it's very efficient.
Very, yeah.
And very stable. So it's whether you're 3 meters apart or 10 meters apart, it hardly makes a difference.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's really the spread is good, the response is good, the harmonics are evenly balanced. It's a really
Would you say that
pleasant speaker. Yeah.
that it's sensitive to on what amp it is attached to, connected with?
Yeah, you gotta have a stable amp, and the whole system has to be very transparent and without any harshness, because it will definitely let you hear when something's wrong.
But how sensitive is the speaker?
And 89
89.
dB.
So
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah.
Well, it's
Someone
pretty
is
easy to
asking,
drive.
do you play without a subwoofer? Yes, we do play without a subwoofer. Because the subwoofer has to match, and we have 3 different monitor speakers, and we can't play with subwoofers now because we have to adjust so many things to get the subwoofer integrated in a decent way again. So that's
And to be frank, I don't need it. I don't miss a subwoofer, and this vocal has so much sub bass as well.
yeah, it goes pretty deep. The Kudos goes deeper. This is 45 hertz to 40 kilohertz, plus minus 3 dB. So that's really decent. It's really decent. The paradigm is around 43 to 30 kilohertz. The Kudos is 40 hertz to around 30 kilohertz. I don't know them by heart, all the specs, but around. So yeah, it's all pretty similar if you look at it. Let's take the paradigms.
Yes, are there any comments on what people
Yeah,
thought about
someone
this?
is saying our audio rack is complete rubbish. The Flying Dutchman, he says Basso Continuo is it's only a brand. It doesn't say anything. He wants a Finit. Okay, Finit is also very nice.
Yes.
I bought the Basso Continuo because I like the looks, and I tried it and it works. For us, it's okay.
Yeah. But it wasn't about the speakers, was it?
No, it's not about the speakers.
comments on-
Flying Dutchman, please say something about the sound. That's more constructive, I think. Theo says, I would like to hear some Steven Wilson. And yeah, they all like the sound. Well, this is our reference system we use on a daily basis. So now you know how our reference system sounds. And I think we should continue with the paradigm.
And Steven Wilson, when you listen to some earlier reviews, we already did some Steven Wilson.
Oh yeah, a lot. I like it.
We can do it shortly, maybe.
Yeah, one track, maybe Pariah, the start. I like that. Or Perfect Life. Yeah, the Perfect Life. The voice is very good to take as a reference.
Same singer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same singer. Yeah, true. Okay.
I know that one.
When I was 13, I had a sister for 6 months. She arrived one February morning, pale and shell-shocked, from past lives I could not imagine. She was 3 years older than me, but in no time we became friends. We'd listen to her mixtapes, Dead Can Dance, Felt, This Mortal Coil. She introduced me to her favourite books, gave me clothes, and my first cigarette. Sometimes we would head down to Blackbird's Moor to watch the barges on Grand Union in the twilight. She said the water has no memory. For a few months, everything about our lives was perfect. It was only us. We were inseparable. But gradually, she passed into another distant part of my memory. Until I could no longer remember her face, her voice, even her name.
Yeah, we can't play all the tracks completely because that will definitely ban us. We're gonna switch to the paradigms. So that's gonna take some time. I'm gonna let you watch how we. Let me see this one then. Yeah, that's the one. All right. So you can.
Amp uit.
Ja. Amp uit. Ja, lekker hè, jong. Ja.
Niet leuk meer dit. Helpen? 40 kilo?
Ja. Oh, dat is zeker 40 kilo. Nou, laat maar jong, want die lapstrips, het is echt een gekloot tot en met.
Dat bedoelen we.
Verder.
Een stuk kilo vriendelijker.
Ja, zeker.
Onderste, hè?
Ja. Dan moet ik deze even daar neerzetten. Zo. lijnen.
Op die
80. Is 83. En dan 100. Op de 100. Zo.
die ook echt dat.
Kijken. Ja, precies.
Hij staat er helemaal parallel met de voet.
Ja, nu ook. Ja. Dus de voet naar de muur staat op de 100, ja. En die andere staat er praktisch onder.
Oké, dat is schoolbaan is goed.
Even checken. Yes, dank u. Even kijken hoor.
Deze.
Ja. 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 For those of you that were wondering how can we do it so quickly, I already taped everything. So, sorry, I have to eat something. 3 days ago, when I was refurbishing the room, I thought let's do this differently. So I taped all anchor points and written down how what the distance is to the back wall and to the side walls. Because when you place speakers, you must never ever place them completely symmetrical.
Wow.
Yes, to the back wall is good, but if you place it symmetrical to the side walls as well, you get you get an issue, because then all the reflections will be symmetrical as well.
Aha.
So you lose depth and you lose energy in some points. If you place them not completely symmetrical to the side walls, you don't cancel out anything, which is a good thing. So the distance to the back wall is symmetrical, and they're quite symmetrical to the rack because it's pleasant, it's pleasing to the eye. But that one is further from the side wall than that one.
I see.
Yeah, it's a trick I learned from Ben.
Ben Lelyveld.
Ben van Lelyveld, he taught me that. Yeah, and it's absolutely true. So the vocals I never ever place symmetrical to the side walls.
And do you hear that?
Yeah,
Have you tried it?
Yeah, I tried it. Because I did everything symmetrical, and he said it's a bad idea, so he placed it 10 centimeters more to the middle, and it was a completely different sound.
Yeah.
It's it made a big difference in a positive way. So, Paradigm.
Yeah, what can you tell about it?
I can tell some stuff about it.
Or shall we first have a listen to it?
Let's first play a track. The one the blues track with the
deep bass.
The deep bass. It's a nice song to start with. So.
Give me your number. You don't need to be alone. Give me your number. You don't need to be alone. Give me your number, and I'll call you on the phone. We can talk about the things that we could do together. We could talk about your dreams, even talk about the weather. Give me your number. I don't need to be alone. Give me your number, and I'll call you on the phone. Now listen. Saturday, anytime.
Well, that was Tosho. Did you hear any difference? We're curious whether you heard a difference between the vocal and this paradigm. We're gonna start a track from An Askvik. It's not as punchy, so it's a completely different approach in musical terms.
Mm-hmm.
So, Liberty from An Askvik.
Our bodies are hurting like hell. They promise to never leave us alone. Our hearts are breaking like bones. Picking stars like apples from the sky, threatening to throw them in the sea, so we won't have anything to gaze upon. What happened to liberty and the bridges we almost got done? What happened to that was going to take us home? Dreams are breaking like glass. But faith is hard like stone. Sometimes so hard down and forget this. You need to be telling me. What happened to liberty and the bridges we almost got done? What happened to that? Was going to take us home? What happened to liberty and the bridges we almost got?
Unfortunately, I do have to cut it off. Well, this is the Paradigm Persona B, and it's their top of the line loudspeaker, well, the monitor version.
There's a whole series of it. Floor standing speakers.
3F, 4F. We heard the concept 4F at High-End Munich years ago, and I absolutely adored it.
Yeah.
It's a hybrid active system, well, at least the floor standing ones. This is a passive speaker. And they use beryllium not only for the tweeter but also for the mid bass in this case. And in the active versions and floor standing versions, they're all beryllium mid-range units. And that's quite new. I don't know any speaker that uses a beryllium mid-woofer, honestly.
Usually you hear it in tweeters.
Yeah.
Focal uses it also in headphones.
Yeah, the Utopia is a beryllium one, and the Elegia I think as well.
Yeah.
I don't know about the Clear. I think the Clear has a aluminum W-cone aluminum unit.
But it's unusual.
It's unusual.
And it's very. I think it's a very expensive resource. So
yeah, it's really expensive to make. I saw that the Focal factory they had processed units shipped in because they can't handle beryllium as a substance, and they made the cones out of it, and it's a completely sealed room because if the dust gets out, that's really poisonous. So they have to wear a suit. It's not poisonous if you hold it. A lot of people think beryllium is poisonous in any sort of form. It's not. But if you create the unit from the beryllium substance, the gas is extremely poisonous. So it's not something you can just use.
No.
But
don't try it at home.
Don't try it at home. But if you use it as a tweeter or a material that's in the
don't fry it at home.
No, don't fry it at home. But Persona, well, completely different loudspeaker than the Focal, I think. Let us know what you think. Did you hear a difference? Do you like it? What did you hear? Do you think it's worth it? Whatever. I have some extra tracks, and after that we can.
The Ryle track for the disco punchy.
Yeah, the punchy one. Let's try that one.
I'll turn this one a little bit. This one direction.
Yeah, there we go.
talk. Making smart with their words again. Well, I'm bored. Because I'm doing this for the thrill of it, killing it, never not chasing a million things I want. And I am only as young as the minute is full of it, getting pumped up on the little bright things I bought. But I know they'll never own me. Baby, be the class clown, I'll be the beauty queen in tears. It's a new art form showing people how little we care. We're so happy, even when we're smiling out of fear. Let's go down to the tennis court and talk it up like yeah. Pretty soon I'll be getting on my first plane. I'll see the veins of my city like they do in space. But my head's filling up fast with the wicked games up in flames. How can I fuck with the fun again when I'm the...
Well, we can't play whole tracks like we said earlier. Yeah, there are a couple of things that strike us with this speaker. Especially in songs like we just played, Tennis Court from Lord.
Yeah.
But you also heard it with
Ryle.
Yeah.
Well, my impression was that you could hear so well the reverb, the delay, the layering of almost the tracks, you know. And you could also hear it with the Lorder song. You hear the percussion, and you could hear it fade out, or that the reverb, it was reverb and then or it was gated or so.
Yeah.
It was amazing how you could really follow all these different elements, or all these different tracks on the song. And it was, for me, it was really forward. The sound.
No, but the staging is more to the back.
Yes, so it's very. The
it's
word
like schizophrenic.
that came to me was ambivalent.
Yeah.
So there were two kind of sensations. I could feel all the sound effects coming. Were standing right here, whereas the sound stage was more
to the back.
To the back.
Yeah, and Phil ear. Wow, you got some very good ears. Because that's exactly what I noticed when I was testing out all the speakers. I thought because of the room acoustics I did something wrong, because the staging was so far, so like 1 meter back to the back wall, and I thought, oh no, what did I do? Then I placed the vocals back, and it was like I was used to. Yeah. So Phil, yes, you definitely heard that right. It's more to the back, but it's like a schizophrenic speaker, because some sound effects are definitely over here.
Yeah, and the
it's
fastness is overwhelming of the speaker.
Yeah.
It's
really, really quick.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it was almost, I could use it in the studio, because it's so revealing on the mix, actually. So...
yeah, that's something that's definitely true. It's really quick, but I don't think it's especially more detailed, but it's faster.
Yeah.
And
I think that's the effect of putting a beryllium in the mid sub range, and the lows are really, they're also quick in terms that they fade away too quickly. So
really punchy.
You don't have the ongoing. That's in the most of the things. What you hear is that the subwoofer, with a subwoofer, you hear the you hear the fluffiness of the woofer, and you experience that maybe as a fat sound or immersive or whatever, or that your windows start
rumbling.
But actually, it's distortion.
Yeah. I'm gonna show some measurements, because then we can explain what we are hearing. Is this the right one? Yeah, that's the right one.
Check the comments.
This is the impulse, and as you can see, it's quicker than the vocal, because it had some extra resonances over here. This is almost immediately done. It gets the impulse, it translates it to moving air, and that's it. That's definitely the fastness you hear in this speaker. I did a lot of measurements on the paradigm because I saw some stuff I couldn't understand. And I couldn't explain. This is the tweeter, only the tweeter, and this is only the woofer. And now if you look correctly, you see a bump over here. And the reason I only measured the tweeter is that I couldn't explain the bump. If a speaker is 10,000 euros, you expect quite a straight response. This speaker is not straight at all. This is the frequency response. You see it, I measured it on 1 meter with a slight off-axis microphone placement, and I did a lot of off-axis, on-axis measurements to see if it's a phase thing or if it's distance or if it's just the speaker. Well, this is just the loudspeaker because this is straight. You see, it's a slight different, but not dramatically different. And this is measured on 10 centimeters, completely straight. This is at 180 centimeters on the sweet spot, so it doesn't change in distance or in on-axis, off-axis. That's a good thing because it's very stable, but it's just a weird tuning, to be honest. This is really far off-axis, and actually that's one of the best measurements. So you have to put them almost straight ahead, and then sit in the middle. Don't turn these speakers in too much because it will definitely ruin the linearity. It's a hard speaker to get right, so that's why I taped everything and I said, Jung, don't turn it in too much. This is the correct way.
If you do it straight, like
completely straight, then it will. Then you will get a hole in the middle. So it's hard. But look at these crazy low distortion figures. It's absolutely nuts. This is technically nice. A really good speaker. It has lower distortion than the Focal. Except for especially in the low, and that's because of the beryllium woofer.
Yeah.
So it hardly distorts in the low frequency. Yeah, you can definitely hear that. It's really good. But going to the higher frequencies, you see that all the resonances here are packing together, and then you get this. This is how we perceive the distortion. You see the bump?
Yeah.
That's also because of this. This bump.
You can see, yeah.
So it has some energy bundling around 10 kilohertz, and then you get how we perceive the distortion is pretty high. It's 10 dB higher than the Focal.
Yeah.
So overall, this is a lower distortion, but we perceive it differently.
You could hear that some in voices, particularly.
Yeah, it's quite pushy.
When they pull up the volume, then it becomes wow.
Yeah. If they open the gates, you think wow, but I think it's really a little bit pushy.
Yeah.
In the higher frequencies. Is it really annoying? No. Is it audible? Yeah, I think so. So I have some difficulty with this speaker, Jung.
You do. I think also a pairing with amps would make a difference.
Yeah. Our colleague Christian Punter tested it on a CH Precision and a Bryston.
Yeah, and also Electrocompagniet.
Electrocompagniet, yeah, that could be a good match. I don't think you should pick an amp that's really bright.
No.
That will not match pleasantly. But it has some really good strong points. I think it's really quick.
Yeah.
It's really transparent. It has really low distortion.
Maybe with a vacuum, with a Wolf amp?
It could work because it's not hard to drive. It's 80.
I think it's a very interesting speaker because the fastness of the speaker.
I love it.
And the transparency, it reveals anything. You could easily have maybe a vacuum tube would be interesting because you have I don't know. You can we cannot test it right now, but I would say an amp that's not so bright.
Yeah, could work.
Could work.
Could work. Some extra music, and then go to the kudos.
Yes, kudos.
If there are any songs you would like to hear, let us know. Then we can schedule it in. I'm gonna pick. Can I play some house?
Sure.
Yeah, I like this song. It's from Elke Klein. Something different. Hey, oh ja. Oh Jay, ken het niet.
Dat is een tip. Ik krijg op mijn telefoon trouwens tipcomments.
Jawel.
Staat nu... Nee.
Right. Well.
Oh ja, je zou toch even dat
Distance, Jung. Distance.
No, there's a screen between us.
Yeah, a visible screen. Let's go to the Kudos. Yeah,
Yes.
I think so.
You want to check out Massive Attack? 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Angel.
30 seconds of Angel.
It's.
Massive
I think also 3 tracks ago, the piano was amazing.
Yeah.
What you heard on the house track,
Wow.
all the detail. It
It's
was
crazy.
It's probably one of the fastest speakers I've heard.
I think so. Yeah. In terms of speed, this is one of the fastest speakers I've ever known. I've ever heard. Well, Massive Attack. There we go. Angel. Yeah, I can't leave it on for too long, but this is completely nuts. It's so fast that I can actually hear the silence in between the punches, the bass kicks, and you can follow everything without any effort. So yeah, it's a really nice, interesting speaker. I still don't.
You're not convinced?
I'm not really convinced
But
yet.
I think it's the amp a speaker combination.
No, it's just not linear.
Yeah.
And because of the not the bump, but the, how do you call it? The gap in the mid area, you still get the focus to the back, and I don't like that. But I am absolutely flabbergasted by the speed.
Maybe would a floor standard.
It's better. I thought the 3F was better.
Be more coherent, maybe.
Yeah, not the 4F. The 3F is better
but
than
3F is more.
Yeah, it's a lot more expensive. And be prepared. If you like this speed in a floor standing loudspeaker, you gotta have a big bank account, because this is already 10,000 euros, and the floor standing version is a lot more expensive.
Do they have a sub with it? I think they do.
Yeah, I think there is a Persona sub as well. Yeah, that would be awesome.
It could be.
No, because I measured it separately, and the bump is just in the tweeter. That's the weird thing. But you know,
beryllium is a different story.
Yeah, it's a whole different league in terms of speed.
Yes,
it's crazy. Okay, let's see. Is this the one? No, it's not the one. I need this one. Yeah, you can see what we do. Yeah, change. All right.
I was born. Ik durf het niet hoor, ik doe het even apart.
Ja, het is een beetje link, hè?
Ja, ik ga met 10 kaarten lopen.
Vlak, deze zitten vast, dus dat maakt hier niet zo heel veel uit. Oh. Maar hij is wel zwaar.
Gaat het?
Ja, sort of.
Samen doen?
Ja, dat lukt. Ja, kom maar, is echt zwaar hoor.
Dat is zo.
Nee, dat gaat makkelijker. Dat is het punt. Het zijn gewoon zware kringen. Hoppa. Als ik het eenmaal heb, gaat het wel. Ja. Oké. Okay. Now I have to align them. Zo. Oh. De eerste keer. Precies op één. Not bad. Oh man, dat is niet. Okay. That looks pretty good. Okay. Let's see some test tracks. Oh yeah. That's good. That's good. Okay. Like I said, I already taped all the loudspeakers so we can quickly place them for you. If there are any questions, just shoot virtually then, please, because we are prepared for you for your questions. Even kijken. Oh yeah, the Pineapple Thief. That's a beautiful band. I only recently discovered the Pineapple Thief. I absolutely loved it. It's in my playlist. I'm not sure if we can play it now because we have to play some comparable tracks for you to compare the Paradigm and the Vocal to this Kudos Audio Titan 505. So Robert, yes, this is the Titan 505, and I can tell you something about it already. Kudos is a British brand. Sorry, I have to catch my breath a little bit. It's a British brand. It uses units made by Seos, but they don't use the normal units. They use some custom-built Seos units. So the woofer and the tweeter is made by Seos. Ooh, thanks, Yoon.
Yes.
They're made by Seos, and they're completely custom built. But what you don't see is the inside of this loudspeaker. This is an isobaric system, but it's different than the Neat. If I can.
What is an isobaric system?
It uses a passive driver inside.
Ah.
And that's, well, sort of air coupled to the other one. But with Neat, it's in anti-phase. With this, it's in phase.
Oh.
And in phase is quicker than out of phase. And maybe, yeah, Jeffrey doesn't agree, but I didn't really like the Neat isobaric system. We did the Multitest high-end floor standing speakers. Yeah, well, that was an isobaric system made by Neat.
We weren't impressed.
It measured absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
It was one of the worst.
Well, I mean, not only measure, but measurement doesn't say anything, but
No,
it
it does say something, but not everything.
Everything, yeah. It adds something to your experience or to.
Yeah. Phil, we will be very careful. No worries.
Careful.
Yeah, careful with the expensive stuff. Yeah, we have to be very careful because if we chip the wood, it's 10,000 euros down the drain. But I'm glad you care. But okay, so this is an isobaric system, but it's different than the one that Need uses, because this is in phase, and the advantages of an isobaric system is that you can go deeper. So this is quite a compact loudspeaker. I don't know how many liters. I think it's quite comparable to the Focal.
Yes, it's comparable to the Focal.
Yeah, Focal is big as well. The Titan 505 is also pretty big. But it gains an extra 5 Hertz because of the isobaric system. And that's an advantage. It is a vented cabinet, so it's not closed, otherwise isobaric wouldn't work. And what the cool thing is about the Kudos is that the side panels are actually decoupled. Let me show. Even kijken, die staat aan. Ja.
Yeah, it's already on.
So, if you tap,
Wow.
it's really dead. But also, this one.
Then how is it decoupled? What did they do?
He did some cool stuff. So there are pads on the sidewall, and you place them on there, and the pads absorb and decouple the side panel from the main cabinet. Also, the main cabinet is not it's not the same thickness everywhere. Like DCS, they have different thickness in the cabinet because they cancel out each other. The resonance from the top panel won't go through the front panel or the back panel. So it's quite clever. It looks old-fashioned, maybe, but it definitely isn't.
It's also because of the wood finish.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, you're old-fashioned, you.
I am.
But the paradigm is completely state-of-the-art, beryllium, modern looks. This is quite the opposite. Let's just play some tracks. If you have any questions about the Kudos, just let us know.
Did you tell about the tweeter?
Yeah.
Tweeter is just okay.
Yeah. It's not a beryllium one. It's made by
Just-
Seos. Just a normal one.
Just a tweeter.
Yeah.
Old school.
Old school tweeter. Give me your number. There we go.
Give me your number. You don't need to be alone. Give me your number. You don't need to be alone. Give me your number. And I'll call you on the phone. We can talk about the things that we could do together. We could talk about your dreams, even talk about the weather. Give me your number. I don't need to be alone. Give me your number, and I'll call you on the phone. Now listen.
All right. So this is completely different than the paradigm. Well, at least for us.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think of this sound. I'll start the next track, the more disco soundish track, and you can absorb that.
Honey, I'm on fire tonight, sitting up a little higher tonight. But I know something, I know, oh, I know something for sure. Honey, I'm on top tonight, looking solid as a rock tonight. But I know something, I know. Yes, I know something for sure, sure. Something's got me walking on air, don't bring me down. Something's got me walking on air, don't bring me down. Walking on air, don't bring me down. Walking on air, don't bring me down. Something's got me walking on air, don't bring me down. Something's got me walking on air, don't bring me down. Walking on air, don't bring me down. Walking on air, don't bring me down. I'm free, filled with open love. Something's taking over me, yeah. But I know something, I know. Yes, I know something. Something's got me walking on air, don't bring me down. Bring me down. Something's got me walking on air, don't bring me down. Something's got me walking on air, don't bring me down. Something's got me walking on air, don't bring me down. Something's got me walking on air, don't bring me down.
Sorry. I love this song.
Yeah.
It's really nice. Someone commented, linear is overrated. What do you think?
I don't know what he means with linear is overrated.
Linear
What do you
frequency
mean?
response
Oh.
is not that important.
Okay, that's an opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Well,
think
it
so,
says
yeah.
something about how neutral a speaker is in its frequency response.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I think it should be within margin.
I think overrated is an overrated conclusion.
Yeah.
I agree that linearity and measurements don't say everything, but they tell a story.
Yeah.
Like the measurements we did with these speakers tell a story.
Yeah.
But you have to listen. You have to take into account the whole.
It's
whole
the complete
system.
yeah, it's
whole
the
chain.
complete package. It's the chain, exactly. Yeah.
So what we try at Alpha Audio is to be critical,
Yeah. But fair.
but fair, and not overrated.
Not overrated.
So we haven't stated that we are in favor of linearity of a loudspeaker.
I have a preference. You have a preference, but it's not important what I think. That's why we let you hear how it sounds, so you can conclude which speaker you like. We have a reference system which we can work with. I don't know if I would use the Focal at home. It's a tool for me. It's very straight. It's very linear. It has very low distortion. But maybe at home I play with a Dali Epicon 2. I like monitor speakers for a reason, that they're more phase coherent than a floor standing speaker. But maybe you like floor standing speakers because you want the whole package. Fact is, a bookshelf speaker won't go very far below 45 hertz.
Yeah.
A floor standing speaker can be full range if you buy the right one.
Yeah.
So that's an advantage of a floor standing speaker. You can use a subwoofer with a monitor, but then you get the issue that the subwoofer is hard to integrate, especially with a Paradigm, because it's so
slower.
crazy fast.
You cannot get a
Yeah.
Okay.
We see some comments. It's a laid back sound. Yes,
It is.
the Kudos is definitely a laid back loudspeaker.
You know, I told Jaap whilst listening, I said, well, this is a kind of a British JBL experience.
Yeah.
So it's not the bass punch that is a slam in your stomach, but it definitely sounds good, you know. It's very musical. It's very, you hear a kind of smear that's likable.
I like it.
And
It's lovely.
Yes, it's much less detailed than the Paradigm. It reveals less than the Paradigm.
Yes.
And also than the Vocal.
Yes.
Less analytical.
Yes. But it's in balance.
But I don't care.
It's
actually.
balanced.
Yeah.
Let's play one more track, and then I'll show you the measurements, and then we play some tracks, and then it's the end again, because we're already 90 minutes in, people. 90
Amazing.
minutes. Oh, one had a very, very good point. Ton R says package including room acoustics. Yeah, definitely. Room acoustics are really, really important.
Yes, that's why there's so much difference with this room.
And Robert,
without the
you said it
curtains.
as well.
Without the curtains, you know,
Yeah.
there's so much more
Transparency,
soundstage depth and width.
I'm gonna play Lord. I like Lord.
Play a Lord.
Don't you think that it's boring how people talk? Making smart with their words again. Well, I'm bored. Because I'm doing this for the thrill of it, killing it, never not chasing a million things I want. And I am only as young as the minute is full of it, getting pumped up on the little bright things I bought. But I know they'll never own me. Baby, be the class clown, I'll be the beauty queen in tears. It's a new art form showing people how little we care. Yeah, we're so happy, even when we're smiling out of fear. Let's go down to the tennis court and talk it up like yeah. Pretty soon I'll be getting on my first plane. I'll see the veins of my city like they do in space. But my head's filling up fast with the wicked games up in flames. How can I fuck with the fun again when I'm knowing? And my boys trip me up with their heads again, loving them. Everything's cool when we're all in line for the throne. But I know it's not forever. Baby, be the class clown, I'll be the beauty queen in tears.
When I was 13, I had a sister for 6 months. She arrived one February morning, pale and shell-shocked, from past lives I could not imagine. She was 3 years older than me, but and in no time we became friends. We'd listen to her mixtapes. Dead Can Dance. Felt. This Mortal Coil. She introduced me to her favourite books. Gave me clothes. And my first cigarette. Sometimes we would head down to Blackbird's Moor to watch the barges on Grand Union in the twilight. She said, the water has no memory. For a few months, everything about our lives was perfect. It was only us. We were inseparable. Gradually, she passed into another distant part of my memory, until I could no longer remember her face, her voice, even her name.
Good.
I think we have the perfect life listening to the speaker.
Oh, what a perfect life this is, Jung. It's a shitty job, but someone has to do it. I'm gonna walk them through some measurements because someone asked, is there a dip in the mid area or is it my headphones? I guess it's your headphones then, because yeah, there they are. I don't see a dip in the mid area. This is the impulse. As you can see, there's a lot more going on here.
Yeah.
than with the paradigm.
And compare this to the paradigm, people.
Yeah, it's it's slower. Yeah, it is. I can't help it. This is 1 meter straight with a 3 millisecond time window. So it's not as straight as the focal, but it's a lot straighter than the paradigm. This is 9 milliseconds. So you can see a little bit more low frequency. Please don't look below 250 because this is not realistic because of the time window we set. It's quite straight.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not bad. Oh, this is at 180. Sorry, this is at 2 meters. So you see, it's quite coherent on the listening position. Yeah.
Wow.
This is also 180 with another time window. It's quite straight. This is off axis. Yeah, I think it measures really well. The funny thing is, this is the sales tweeter, and the sales tweeter is really, really good off axis. I know this from Grim Audio. They use it in the LS1. It's a different tweeter, but it's the same company.
So it has very good dispersion.
Very good dispersion, yes. Yeah, it's remarkably good at off-axis performance. This is distortion, perceptual, and as you can see, it's really coherent, just like the focal. This is how we perceive the distortion, and this is a simultaneous distortion. So, yeah, it's low. It's really low. Here, even in the mid-range, it goes below 1.01%, which is crazy. This is the tweeter. That sales tweeter is just a magic thing. It performs crazy good. I think the high is also... I like the upper end of the speaker. Yeah. It's very clean. It's very mild.
Mild, yeah.
Maybe because of the crazy low distortion. Yeah. It's... in the low frequencies, you see the isobaric system. It's much better than the need. Let's just not talk about need anymore.
No. We don't need to talk about need.
We don't need to talk about need.
The low end, actually, you wouldn't say that it was a passive driver. You wouldn't. It's not perceivable.
You don't notice the isobaric system because it's in phase. and it goes deeper, but it's not it's not as boomy as you would expect if you see 40 hertz. This is the waterfall graph, but that's not that interesting. I think it measures really well.
Yes.
It shows it has some good roots, and it's a modern speaker, although it looks old-fashioned because of the wood and the straight lines, and it's not as curvy and metal finished, but it's a really modern speaker with really good units, low distortion, especially in the upper end. It's even lower than the Focal. So yeah, I don't have anything to complain in terms of measurements.
No.
It was a really easy measurement to do, just like the Focal.
Is it
just
also easy to
go.
drive?
Yeah. No, sorry, no, it's not easy to drive. No.
So you need a beefy amp.
Yeah, you need power. The efficiency is 85 or 86 dB. Yeah, it's low.
That's low.
That's low. I have to turn it up a lot louder than with the other speakers. I forgot that in the first track. I'm sorry. But you need some muscle. So, okay, what tracks do you want? As we have 2 more tracks to play, and then it's finished. So if you have any questions, if you have any recommendations in terms of music, please let us know. Do you?
Yes, I think we've talked
enough.
Yes, let's wrap up. So we had the Focal reference, and we know it very well.
Yeah, but honestly, the whole setup is tuned around the Focal.
Yeah.
So I think we
That's
get
true.
the maximum out of that speaker.
Yeah.
Maybe a better DA converter. We tested a lot of DA converters lately.
Yeah.
The new Sonnet Audio decks are better. Maybe a better streamer. I don't know, but in terms of amplification and clean power, I think we can't do any better.
No.
The room acoustics are very neutral now.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to gain there. The Paradigm, I liked the speed. It's insanely fast. I don't think I heard a quicker loudspeaker than the Paradigm Persona B. It's just crazy fast.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think if you want to hear every detail of a recording, it's amazing. What you hear, you hear everything, and it's not. I wouldn't say analytical, but because that's such a term that is maybe that sounds so negative, but it's.
I don't think it's analytical.
No.
It's remarkably smooth for a complete beryllium
it's
loudspeaker.
It's something totally different. You have to listen to it. You have to be.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's almost electrostatic fast.
Yeah.
And an electrostatic speaker is also not analytical. It's remarkably smooth. And I think because the Persona is really fast, but it's very phase coherent, you don't get the sharpness you would normally get.
Yeah.
Or the sharpness is distortion, and it doesn't distort. So it's a different experience. You should try if you like fast speakers. Yeah. But I want a linear frequency response, and it's not linear.
But that could have to do with the material used, and
who knows?
Also try different amps.
Yeah.
Maybe tube.
Maybe tube. Yeah.
Maybe what is it? The German brand that you have at home.
AVM.
Yeah.
Yeah, could work. Yeah, it's very sweet. Yeah.
Or a French amp. I don't know.
Someone is asking, is the Hegel H190 beefy enough for the Kudos? Yeah, that's beefy enough. Yeah, that will work. Because Hegel has a lot of current.
Yeah.
It has a lot of grip on the loudspeaker.
Hegel
you need an amp with grip.
Hegel is not so refined, but it's the Kudos is a refined speaker. So yeah,
No, good work. Yeah,
work.
good work. Ilke Klein as a track. Yeah, I like that one. We'll definitely play that.
And then we have the Kudos because we were wrapping up.
Yeah, the Kudos. Very different. I like the Kudos in terms of smoothness, laid backness, and it's very well built. I like the build quality.
Yeah.
It's really, really well built.
Yeah,
So
it's very straightforward. Very, I'm a speaker. Tweeter woofer.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, straightforward. You see what you get.
The sound is really pleasing.
It's
very pleasing to the ear.
Yes.
You have no.
There's no harshness.
No.
Nothing.
Very
I think
nice
for a
speaker.
living room,
Yeah.
it's a very nice speaker. Very nice.
I think with Vocal and Paradigm we have two speakers that could be you could very well use it here in the studio to measure things, to evaluate stuff because it's so precise.
Yeah.
These are, they are precise enough of course, but they're more musical, if I may. Or
It's
more
remarkably fast, but it's slower than the Sopra and the Persona. You can see that in the impulse behavior. It's just a little bit slower. It's not dramatically slow. I've measured headphones that are a lot worse than this. But it's not as fast as the Paradigm. The Paradigm is just king of speed. The Persona, the Vocal is in between. And the Kudos, I would love to have them at home. It's just a speaker you can listen to for hours and hours. And you just need a beefy amp. That's it. Okay. One more track, Ilke Klein. After that, it's lunchtime. So,
Kudos for this Kudos.
Kudos. I'm curious how this will work out. All right. People, thank you for tuning in. It was a pleasure. We hope you had an idea of how these loudspeakers can perform. At least there are 3 very, very different loudspeakers.
Yeah.
Someone commented, you only showed that your vocal works very well in your setup and your room, and the others don't. Well, let's not go there. I think loudspeaker...
It's not our conclusion.
That's not our conclusion. No, absolutely not. And a loudspeaker plus acoustics is, I think, 70% of the sound. Then you need decent amplification that fits the loudspeaker, and the last 10% is only the source. So you get a 70% idea of how these speakers can perform.
And the Brystons are
very neutral.
Yeah, and beefy, and they are used in studios. That doesn't say anything, but there are, they don't add any coloration to the sound.
No, Pulse Labs and Bryston is very neutral and very holographic.
No, and to compare, you have to you have to leave everything the same except for the thing you are comparing.
Yeah.
So we have, you're right in that this system fits very well with the
vocal matches
monitors.
Very, very well. The others match
But
good. Well,
I think the Kudos might
work.
very well work here.
Yeah, definitely.
As do the Paradise, because I would like to have them here for revealing differences in decks or in bridges or in.
Yeah, it's that fast that you can definitely.
You hear everything. You hear, or in studio even, and then for mid and long range mixing, mastering purposes.
But we're gonna leave you to it. It's lunchtime. We're gonna have some lunch. Thank you for
if
watching.
You have any ideas, because we're doing this every week.
Yeah, just
as long as we
let us know what you want to see tested next time.
Yeah.
You can comment under the article. You can comment under the news article, or we're gonna post this later today. This test. So just let us know what you would like to see next, and then we'll try to arrange that if possible. So thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching,
and see
enjoy
you
your weekend
later.